Caught girlfriend of 5 years cheating with a good friend. Just need to tell someone. Hi all. Throwaway account. I just needed to tell someone about what has happened over the past week, and the two people I would have talked to about this, well, they both were involved. I've been dating my girlfriend, both 28, for about 5 years. Our anniversary was at the end of August. Knew each other for a while, but things didn't get serious until post-college. Like all relationships, and I certainly felt it, we weren't the same rose-tinted, lovey-dovey stuff. There was definitely still some of that, but of course nothing like the early days. So she met a new coworker, yes, it's one of these, 9 months ago who she thought was into men initially. That much I know for a fact because I wasn't sure the first time I met him either. She went out to drinks with him, and I knew this was trouble, but she was, her. I would endure any sort of pain in her place, that's how I felt, and I assumed that she felt the same way. Anyways, from what I've pieced together they started sexting/emailing in mid/late December well into January. At the same time, they began to meet at work late for makeout/feeling up/oral. They then stopped sometime in late Jan/early February because, well, he, F-face from here on out, met me. I was real, and not just some name he could ignore when he was sleeping with my girlfriend. Over the next few months F-face and I became really good friends. He would stay at our place all the time. We'd all get drunk and have great times. I called that piece of crap hermano. We both loved Arrested Development. Then things started up again in, I don't know, I'm not sure how honest she is being with me anymore, surprise. But from what she said, it was sometime in the last 2 months. More of the same. I know they didn't sleep together because of some issues, namely pain she has with her private parts, she has issues getting tampons in and so on. Okay, well now I'm mind screwing myself thinking she just did it anyway with F-face. This is really ramble why, I do apologize again. So a week ago, almost, on Wednesday night we all hung out, all getting pretty smashed, and I was cleaning up the mess we all had made in the hangout space/kitchen while my girlfriend was brushing her teeth. F-face had said something about a shirt or something, and so I knocked on his door to see if he was asleep yet or not. No response. He had just gone to bed, so I slowly cracked the door open and saw the light from the connected bathroom streaming into the darkroom. The bathroom where my girlfriend was brushing her teeth. I saw the reflection in the window of her hand on the back of his head as they were deep in the throes. Shaking, I walked back to the couch trying to figure out if things were real anymore, all that melodramatic stuff, and I sat there for at least a minute just shaking and trying to make my mind think of what to do. I needed to know it was real, and to stop her blowing him or something, I don't really know, so I went back and saw them still making out hard. I couldn't confront, it's not in my nature, so I grabbed my keys, slamming the drawer in the process. This snapped them out of it. So girlfriend wanders out with the whole "what's the matter?" She saw my face and knew instantly. I just kept walking to the door, and she kept trying to stop me. I just kept going. Outside the door she finally got in front of me. "I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. Never meant to hurt you." There were some exchanges, I don't remember it all. Finally I got away and started walking. She tried calling, I didn't answer. I got to my car and just let it all go. Luckily I was able to restrain myself from honking the horn, which would have been bad. If you've ever been cheated on, first time for me, you'll know just how overwhelming everything felt. Now comes the part where you all want me to tell you I told her to go F herself, went to the gym and screwed a model or something. You will be disappointed. I got out of the car after I answered the third call from her, I think. It was rough. Then, of course, like 2 minutes into it, my phone's battery went dead, beat, then it started raining. It was perhaps the most surreal moment of my life. She found me walking and sobbing a few minutes later. I asked everything I could think of. I just wanted to know everything, some people don't, but I did. She told me half-truths, I assumed she was doing this, and was correct, but I got what I wanted. I walked her back to our place to make sure she got there safely. Screw you for thinking that I should have left her there. I am a gentleman, even in the worst situations. Face's car was gone. I went to stay somewhere else for the night. I sat up all night with all the images I had. It was, well, I don't believe in it, but it was as close to a representation of hell as I've ever experienced. I know, melodramatic, but still, it was. I know even more of you are going to rage right now, but I decided to try to make it work that night. I love her too much and that's still there. It's the one thing I never questioned that whole night. I might have called her horrible names in my head, but I still didn't want to end it. I know the sidebar says that attacking me in the comments is not tolerated, but I would have if I had read this like a week and a half ago. I hope we can make this work. I've never been one to open up to people. I'm not close to my parents, I have some friends, but, obviously from this post, I don't tell them everything. She is that person. She doesn't judge me. She loves me for my stupid stuff in that way I've never felt in all the relationships I've ever had. But she cheated on you, brah. Lots of girls could be that for you. Ditch her. It's not that I don't care that she cheated on me, I do, it's just that I get it. I miss the exciting new thing. Those texts and emails, which, I of course like an idiot I started reading, actually, it's what prompted me to post this, and the playful flirtations. It happens from time to time. She got swept up, and I can't fault her for that. I'm pretty sure some of you want to punch me in the face for that right there. I would never in my darkest places cheat on her. I've had chances to take things further than is acceptable in a committed relationship, and it isn't about the fact that I didn't or that she did. I don't know what it's about, I guess. I'm not scared of being alone and I don't think I'm being thoughtless or irrational here. I want to make this work, she does as well. I hope we can. You guys can say what you will, it'll just be nice to have some people to talk to. By all means, call me an idiot if you think I am being that. And if anyone else has had something similar to this, I would love to hear how it worked out, even worse. I have no idea how many of these go through relationships on a regular basis, but I'll reply to people if they want. TL, DR. Girlfriend cheated on me with a good friend, Face, but for now I'm staying with her. No revenge planned. I do again need to apologize for the language and writing style, I usually am much less blue. But I feel justified in it for the moment. The jumpy, ellipsis-filled style is nothing new, afraid to say. Oh, Face. Edit. This all happened right before my birthday next week. Yay me. Second edit. Okay, I have to step away for a bit. I'll check back later. I really do mean to thank all of you for your advice. I will read all of it, and reply to what I can. Also, any music suggestions? I was hoping someone would notice the account name, /music helps, oh well. Third edit. Update here. So, broke up with her and moved out today. I guess that's the update. I found out more about her in the cheating, but I don't really feel like typing it all out. The more information had nothing to do with my decision. It's been a long 3 months and I'm glad to be done with it now. Thanks for all the words of encouragement, and all the words of not encouragement. Thanks Relationships subreddit, I really can't thank you enough, the previous thread helped me immensely in my moments of doubt and indecision. Last edit. Thanks for all the replies. As I said, it's been an exhausting past 3 months, but you folks were all right about it not working. I'm just glad I didn't get sucked back in before I figured it out. My 25 male, girlfriend, 23 female, of 6 months confessed to cheating. Is it salvageable? I'll start off by saying that she is literally the textbook definition of a damaged girl. Childhood abuse, assault victim, stated every one of her exes cheated on her, surrounded by a lot of guy friends, attention-seeking photos on social media, the relationship moved too quick, brought up marriage a few months in, introduced me to her family a few months in, etc. So I found out she cheated on me when I confronted her for like the 4th time throughout the relationship. She finally confessed. This happened early in the relationship, like the 4th or 5th week. She's a mechanic. She told me beforehand one day that she was going to call in sick for work to go work on her car at her friend's house. I didn't think much of it. She's a huge tomboy and I wanted to show her I trusted her around her guy friends and not be that jealous boyfriend. She told me she'd swing by my place around 5 p.m. 7 p.m. rolls around with no word from her, so I texted her. Waited 10 minutes, no response. Called, the phone rang and went to voicemail. Deep down inside I already knew something happened but I wasn't able to bring myself to reality. She called half an hour later and told me, "Sorry, something unexpected came up, I'm on the way." I waited until she came to my house before I confronted her. She showed up at my door smelling like beer. I asked her why she didn't reply or give me a heads up she was going to be late and why she smelled the way she did. She gave me generic excuses. I didn't have my phone on me. We're mechanics, we like drinking beer when we work on cars. It was apparent already, but I couldn't bring myself to believe it. I turned a blind eye to it. I only realized now I had trust issues from that point on and I should have ended it. I was a blind. I treated her like a queen and went out of my way to do everything for her. She was the type of girl that was amazing to be around, hilarious, beautiful, talks like one of the boys, amazing intimacy, and she had this special allure to her. But whenever we were away it was hell for me. She had questionable reactions whenever I confronted her about something she did that made me uncomfortable. I noticed she often got defensive if I bring something up and she would switch it around and play the victim card. Like one time I made a vow that I would never cheat on her and asked her to do the same. She looked at me, looked away and said, "Yeah." At this point I lost count of all the red flags. What in the hell was I doing? She was constantly complaining about both going to school and working full-time, so I told her to focus on education. I told her to quit her job and stay with me, seeing as we were driving 2 hours plus one way to see each other every other day or so. My stupid self offered her to stay with me 5 months into the relationship. Throughout the last couple months, she told me she never thought she could ever trust another man, every guy before her treated her like trash and that she never experienced the love I showed her, and that she truly fell in love for the first time in her life. I'd realized I fell hard for this girl, but I also realized I literally became Captain Save-A-Ho. In the last couple of weeks, we were constantly arguing about infidelity and she denied any and all accusations, and I finally had it. I told her to pack her stuff and leave because I couldn't trust her. She asked for a second chance and that she was doing literally everything in her capability to try to ease my mind. And I acknowledged that every time I confronted her about something she changed on her will and the issue never arose again. I asked her one last time that if she told me now that she cheated on me I might be able to dig deep within myself to forgive her, but if I were to find out later in life then we would never have a future. That's when she finally told me that she did in fact cheat on me that one night with her mechanic friend. I told her I needed time away from the relationship and she needed to leave, so she packed her belongings and left. I do want to believe her when she says she messed up in the beginning and that she truly fell in love and wants to prove herself that she wouldn't do it again, but I can't help but think it's just rhetoric seeing as how she lied about cheating up until now. But I also begin to think that she didn't have to tell me in the first place if she truly didn't value the relationship. Should I just cut off all ties and block her? Is there such a thing as saving a damaged woman? I know there's a lot of details left out but I can clarify. Honestly, I think I know the answer but my weak heartbroken self is just looking for validation. Update. Thank you everyone for your input. I just ended it all as she came back to pick up the rest of her things. It hurts like hell but it had to be done. Second update. I read a bunch of articles and watched YouTube videos and it's apparent, she has all the traits of a low-functioning sociopath. I dodged a rocket. It's kind of sad though, unlike psychopathy which is genetic, the articles say sociopathy is developed through traumatic experiences. No wonder people say to stay away from damaged goods. They can end up sociopaths, unwilling to change. Today I messed up by having my girlfriend confess to me she did in fact cheat on me. I pulled the whole "I know what you did, please don't deny it" move on my girlfriend in hopes that she would tell me a small secret I didn't know about her. I told her I had evidence on my phone and that she should just tell me the truth now. It turns out she cheated on me a week into our relationship. We are in our 3rd year of dating and our 1st year of being engaged. I don't know what to do since I I did provoke this by lying to her with fake evidence. B. She did do this before we were actually in love. C. We both love each other a lot now. Any tips? Update. 12:24 PST. She's calmed down now and we are rationally talking about it. She says if she could, she would have married me from the moment she met me. She also says she's freaking terrified of leaving me because she's never felt this loved before. I also had her cook me some breakfast because, well, I got hungry. I'm leaning towards letting it go and just pushing forward and moving on. Final update. 1:22. I have decided, for the best, that I will just learn to move on. Is it going to hurt? Sure. Will I be more cautious and talk more with my fiancé so that this won't happen again? Of course. The fact of the matter is, a cheater won't always be a cheater. As one of you mentioned already, how can we expect addicts to change if we don't let them prove themselves? It's a tough bet that I'm willing to risk because I love her. As for any compromises, I told her to get rid of all social media that can interfere with our relationship. If her ex still tries to barge in, I will personally handle it with the help of the authorities. Lastly, I want to thank each and every single one of you. You all have no idea how helpful you have been, and it is 90% thanks to you that I overcame this huge pain in my chest. I'm sorry if this has happened to you or if you feel like this is happening. My best piece of advice is from the wise words of Ralph Waldo. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters of what lies within us.